Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Without a doubt, one of the hottest topics here in the Battlefield community, since we of course got our first hands-on with Battlefield 6, is the server browser. The devs have talked about this in some very ambiguous ways so far, detailing that yes, there will be a main menu featured server browser feature that'll be easily accessible at all times, that'll be featured through the Battlefield 6 portal feature. And this has got players a little bit concerned, still excited that yes, the server browser's there, that's going to be fun for what it is, but it could be more. They are capping the potential, it seems like, is what a lot of players are thinking so far, and that's been a highly discussed thing since the beta launch. And we actually just recently got some direct responses when it comes to their full plans and their actual POV for the server browser. So as we dive into this stuff, this information is stemming from David Serland, who is the Battlefield lead producer over at DICE. Initially talks about saying, hey, thanks, super grateful for everything. It's so cool to see everything with the open beta so far. He gets replied to and gets asked, I'm not sure if this is up to you, but there really needs to be some way to matchmake with +4 groups on official servers, especially with lobbies disbanding after every match. It is a frustrating experience to make everyone join again. I definitely ran into this. There were times it's like, man, we've got a full squad of 4 people, but we got more players, more friends who want to join in with us, but we can't all play together, right? Which is a bit of a bummer. We can't all squad up there super easily, especially on the official servers here. And to this, David Serland responds and says, I mean, that is what we have been harping about. The portal browser is basically enabling that, plus map playlists, and in a persistent way too. It's not the I stumbled upon a cool server in my city's server browser, but for organized play, it sure hits the mark. So basically saying, for those looking to expand beyond 4 groups, for those looking to play the same maps, the same modes back to back, cycling through without the lobbies disbanding, that's what the server browser feature will offer that the official servers won't. And this has sort of been the response to a lot of this, is that the community says, okay, we want X, we want Y, and the response is, okay, but you could do that on the portal server browser. And to that response, it seems like the broad community is like, okay, that's cool, and that's a good thing, but you could also offer this on official servers and still have the same results. Essentially, it's just in a more convenient way. There's more servers that are available there. And this is sort of the back and forth conversation where now we're actually getting official insight, which is always a good thing. Anytime the devs are going to be transparent and engage in this discourse, it's a good thing, I would say. David gets responded to again saying, what's the gameplay benefit limiting it to only portal though? Like I said, that's kind of the big question is, okay, the portal server browser is great, but why can't we do more? Why can't we do it officially? Having to matchmake for a new server at the end of a round is so jarring and lacks the guaranteed map variety for the player. Having played 2042, I'm not convinced the small player base using portal is a solution to this. And that's another argument, is that it seems like, well, yes, the server browser through portal will once more offer some really good features and some really cool things. Most players by default are probably looking for the official playlist. Even if it's all right there available on the main menu and up in your face, they're going to see the base conquest, the base breakthrough, the base king of the hill, whatever the case is, and just dive right into those, because it seems like that's the easiest way to get into a match, rather than going into the server browser menu and then finding the server that you're looking for, queuing into that and figuring that out. There is that perspective that I think weighs in on it as well. David responds to this saying, it's a server browser, it contains servers. Some are custom experiences, whether it's crazy rule sets, hardcore, snipers only, headshots only, whatever the situation is, right? Some are verified, which is what most are looking for on this topic. So they are confirming here there will be verified servers in that server browser, whether they are playing on more standard rule sets for just specific maps or specific modes, whatever the case is, that is going to be a feature within this. The combination of the pool of the persistent servers and the spun up ones is not super useful. Matchmaking servers spin up in seconds and get filled with players and spin down after the game is over. That couple of seconds plus when servers lose a lot of players mid-game is the only time you can join, which makes it a tricky combination and full of queuing to join issues. And then he follows up again saying, we think the current setup gives us the best of both worlds, and as you can choose to spin up into a server through regular matchmaking or find an existing server that's already running or create your own as well. We'll soon be testing the server browser so you can experience it. So there's a lot that's going on in this general conversation here. For one, he basically is saying that it is faster to get players into game with the general matchmaking quick play servers that they've got now that are not a part of any server browser, any portal feature, just the ones that we're queuing into, like the quick playlists on the main menu. It's quicker to get players in those when they're winding up and winding down at the end of a match. However, The other important takeaway from this first batch of posts here is that David does say they're going to be testing the server browser soon. Now, they don't give more details on this, if it's going to be something that's fully a part of a beta experience on any given day, if it'll be something brought to Battlefield Labs. Presumably, if it's not during the beta, it's going to have to be through Labs, right? Which of course would be a smaller player base since it's still invite only there, of course, but we will have a much better understanding of the server browser, how it's going to fully function, and what the features are that it's offering initially once that testing does end up actually coming out. And of course, once we get details on that from what leaks or what's shared there officially, I'll be sure to cover that, so stay tuned for that alongside all the other major things going on with Battlefield 6. I'll have you guys covered, so feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. Also, while you're at it, if you guys enjoyed this video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. But that's not all David shared when it comes to server browser insight here. So in response to that most recent follow-up, basically saying we've got options through all of this, it's still faster to do the official matchmaking though, he again gets asked, I don't understand the problem. Wouldn't it be better to have a server browser exactly like Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, where you can find both custom and official servers? There's just so much more freedom with that. It's never been an issue in previous games. And David responds and says, the inherent problem with that model is you have servers running forever with no games going on. It's very ineffective in utilizing the actual hardware on a whole game perspective. A hybrid solution, Battlefield 1 sort of had this, but on the persistence side is to be preferred. He gets asked again, the majority of Battlefield players that are playing the beta want servers for the base game, not just exclusively in Portal. Servers are how communities are built. And David says, just for clarity, this is the same thing. There is no just Portal servers. If you run a server with Conquest on Siege of Cairo, it acts like you want it to. More details to come later. So it does sound like they're going to give us much more, detailed updates on the server browser in some official capacity here in the coming weeks. That'd be ideal here because, like I said, the way that they've detailed a lot of this stuff so far is a little bit more ambiguous. It's not like they're directly confirming or denying very, very specific details. They're more so just saying you can kind of do whatever you want here. So if you're looking for a specific thing, trust us, it'll be there. It is EA, so the whole trust us ploy doesn't always work here, right? It's much more of a, hey, we got to see it to believe it type stuff. And there is still seemingly a lot of uncertainty around the official capacity servers versus the community created ones and what the balance will be there and the availability will be there. But like I said, we have now official confirmations that testing for the server browser is coming soon. Official details on the server browser are coming soon. And there will be official things to a capacity, to an extent, within the server browser itself, based on the insight here from, of course, a lead executive, a lead producer here on the game. So as we get more details on this, I'll be sure to keep you guys informed. Be sure to hit that sub button, as I mentioned. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on your way out. But that is going to wrap things up for this one. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.